In the summer of 1518, in the bustling city of Strasbourg, something extraordinary and terrifying began to unfold. A woman named Frau Trophea stepped into the narrow cobblestone street outside her home and began to dance. Not the graceful, measured steps of a courtly celebration, but a frenzied, uncontrollable gyration that would continue without pause for days. What started as one woman's bizarre behavior would soon engulf hundreds of people in one of history's most mysterious and deadly mass phenomena, the dancing plague of Strasbourg. To understand this extraordinary event, we must first transport ourselves to the world of early 16th century Europe. The Renaissance was in full bloom, yet life remained precarious for most people. Strasbourg, nestled along the Rhine River, was a prosperous free imperial city within the Holy Roman Empire. Its Gothic cathedral spire pierced the sky, markets bustled with merchants from across Europe, and the printing press had recently revolutionized the spread of knowledge. Yet beneath this veneer of progress, the common people lived under constant threat of disease, famine, and social upheaval. The years leading up to 1518 had been particularly harsh. Crop failures and severe winters had left many on the brink of starvation. The Black Death, though no longer the apocalyptic force it had been 2 centuries earlier, still haunted the collective memory. Religious tensions simmered as the Protestant Reformation began to challenge the Catholic Church's authority. In this atmosphere of uncertainty and hardship, the human psyche proved remarkably vulnerable to forces that defied rational explanation. Frau Trophia's dance began in July 1518, and it was unlike anything the residents of Strasbourg had witnessed. She moved with violent, jerky motions, her feet bleeding as they struck the stones repeatedly, her face contorted in apparent anguish, yet she could not stop. Local authorities and physicians were baffled. Some suspected demonic possession, others pointed to an excess of heated blood or corrupted humors, following the medical theories of the time. But Frau Trophea was only the beginning. Within days, dozens of others joined her in the streets, their bodies seized by the same compulsive movement. Men and women, young and old, abandoned their daily routines to dance with desperate intensity. The afflicted moved in a trance-like state, their eyes often rolled back, foam gathering at their mouths. They danced through the scorching summer heat, through rain, through day and night, as if driven by an invisible force beyond their control. The city's magistrates, faced with this unprecedented crisis, consulted the most learned physicians and theologians available. The prevailing medical wisdom of the time attributed the phenomenon to an imbalance of the 4 bodily humors, or to what they called hot blood. Following this logic, the authorities made a decision that would prove catastrophic. They prescribed more dancing as the cure. Professional musicians were hired, stages were erected in guild halls and public squares, and the afflicted were encouraged to dance until the malady worked itself out of their systems. This well-intentioned but misguided intervention transformed a local outbreak into a full-blown epidemic. The music and official sanction drew more people into the dancing mania. Witnesses described scenes of absolute chaos, hundreds of people writhing and spinning in the streets, their clothes torn, their feet raw and bleeding. The sound of drums and pipes mixed with the groans and cries of the dancers, creating a hellish symphony that echoed through the narrow medieval streets. As the days stretched into weeks, the true horror of the situation became apparent. The human body, pushed beyond its limits, began to fail. Dancers collapsed from exhaustion, their hearts giving out under the relentless strain. Others suffered strokes or simply died from sheer physical depletion. Historical records suggest that at the height of the plague, as many as 15 people were dying each day from the effects of uncontrollable dancing. The city's economy ground to a halt. Markets closed, workshops fell silent, and families watched helplessly as their loved ones danced themselves toward death. The streets, normally filled with the purposeful movement of commerce and daily life, became stages for this macabre performance. As the death toll mounted, the authorities began to reconsider their approach. The secular cure of more music and dancing had clearly failed. In desperation, they turned to religious solutions. The afflicted were taken to shrines dedicated to Saint Vitus, the patron saint associated with dancing disorders. Gradually, mysteriously, the plague began to subside. Whether through divine intervention, the natural course of the phenomenon, or simple exhaustion of the affected population, the compulsive dancing slowly ceased. By early September, the streets of Strasbourg had returned to their normal rhythms. The dancing plague of Strasbourg stands as a testament to the power of the human mind to transform psychological suffering into physical reality, and to the enduring mystery of what it truly means to be human in times of crisis.